Good evening and welcome to the official co-stream of the back-to-back NBA 2K League champions Wizards District Gaming. Tonight, the defending champs Wizards District Gaming are taking on Raptors Uprising GC in Day 4 action of Week 1 of the 3v3 Seed Week. Alongside Chris, my name is John. Happy Friday to everyone and welcome to tonight's matchup. Week 1 so far in the 3v3 Seed Week hasn't been what head coach Pat Crossan or the team would have expected. Currently, they're 0-2 with losses coming to Hawks Talon Gaming 3-1 in that series, and Heat check last night. It was a clean 3-0 sweep for the Heat. But tonight, Chris, we're seeing them shake up the lineup a little bit, and you predicted this last night. Tonight, Cap's making his appearance.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see Cap in the lineup. As I kind of touched on last night before we ended our broadcast, I think the addition of Cap's just going to slow the game down a little bit. I think what we struggled with last night was we played a little bit too fast-paced and out of control. So I'm looking for a more composed offensive production for this series tonight against the Raptors Uprising. And again, we're playing another tough guard in Fanta if he is in the lineup, which I don't think we have yet. But if he is playing, he's obviously one of the best 3v3 guards in the entire league, and this is a big reason why he was even drafted in the first place. So I'm excited to see Cap in the lineup. I think it's going to do great things, and I'm excited to see it.
Absolutely. And speaking of those lineups, you have those on the screen here for you now. The Raptors, we are still awaiting their official 3v3 lineup here, but we are expecting Fanta, Big Saint, and Type. That was the same lineup they ran last game, so we will see if that is going to be the same lineup they run here tonight as well. But just like Chris was saying, Cap, Nudini, and Dayfry, you're starting three for the current defending champs. And speaking of those three, did you know it's All-Star voting season, which means we need you to go to NBA2KLeague.com and vote for all Wizards D.G players to get into the second annual All-Star game for the NBA 2K League. Currently, right now, we are waiting updated vote totals here, but as of last update, Dayfry leading the entire league with over 500 votes. Just Awkward with over 300 votes as well. Nudini down in 7th for the front court with over 130 votes. We need to get all 5 WizDG players in there. There's just no reason not to have all 5 in there, let's be honest. So do yourself a favor, do your team a favor, go on and vote early, vote often, vote every day for WizDG to make it to the All-Star game. So yeah, I mean, we are just moments away. That we were talking about a little bit off stream. It's so nice being the 7 o'clock tip off because we don't have to like figure out, oh, when's the other game going to finish up? Everyone's going to have to wait for us tonight, which is kind of nice here. But it looks like we are just moments away here from the start of this. And just for a quick recap for everyone, if you are new to the 3v3 scene here in the 2K League, it's a best-of-5 series. You can make substitutes in between games. 6 fouls, you're out, and that lovely AI player hops in. Definitely don't want to see that. Street ball rules, first to 21 points, win by 2, and that is how you secure the victory for your team. 3 wins, and you are golden. That is what we are looking for here today. And again, we're talking about it before we hopped on here. WizDG currently in first place, seeding-wise, in the 3v3 standings with 16 points, but the Celtics crossover gaming just right behind them with 14.
Yeah, for sure. And this is obviously a huge game for us. We don't want to drop 3 games in the same week right now. The Raptors are a great 3v3 team. They might not be a great 5v5 team, but they have 3 players who are phenomenal at 3v3, so I'm excited to see what we can do with this new lineup.
Absolutely. We're going to see that new lineup in action as Game 1 is now underway here in this best-of-5 against our friends from Canada. Good recovery there. Easy 2 points for Nudini, opening up the scoring. So far, so good. That's what we want to see. Obviously, we don't want to lose the ball there a little bit in the opening seconds there, but it was a good recovery and a good 2-point basket for Nudini.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, it's kind of an underrated thing, but getting the ball first in 3v3, obviously we have that extra possession. So to score on that first possession, I think it's a big confidence booster, and it'll help us along the way.
And it was challenged by Dayfry. It wasn't as easy as he may have thought, but Dayfry unable to hold it there, but responds with a layup of his own. A little back and forth action here to start Game 1.
And it's interesting we see, Dayfry on the small forward build, which is what we saw Awkward on last night. So we'll see if he's able to, we were kind of touching on it last night as well. Just, those bump steals he gets in the press off of made shots, they help us out tremendously. So, he's on a build where he has pickpockets, so he'll be able to get even more of those if he times them right.
Cap handling the ball. Off balance 3. Good for Cap. 7-4 for Wizards D.G.
Cap has a lot of experience. I mean, he's been playing point guard all year in the league, so he should be comfortable on this build he's playing on.
Off balance 3 for the Raptors. Big rebound there. Cap bringing the ball up for Wizards D.G. So far, we've been seeing those changes that we've talked about. We wanted to see better ball handling. We wanted to see better ball movement, cut down on those turnovers, high percentage shots, good passes. That's what we've seen so far, and that's led to this 9-4 lead for the defending champs.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is exactly the start that Coach Pat was looking for, a more controlled pace and getting some more stops on the defensive end, and we've checked both boxes.
Mid-range jumper, good to go. 9-6 for Wizards D.G, holding on to that 3-point lead here in Game 1. Best of 5 series against Toronto. Dini in the corner. Gets fouled by Type.
And we see Type on the same build that Dini's on, so there's no rebound advantage. He's not on a pure glass cleaner, so both centers are on the same sharpshooting rim protector build, so there shouldn't be an advantage either way.
Cap finding space, splits the defenders. Not as clean of a dunk as he wanted, but still 2 points. Makes it 11-6. 2K's got to make it look a little interesting from time to time. You can't have easy dunks every single time.
Absolutely not. You always have to have a little bit of balance here and there, but luckily for us, it went in.
Fanta pulls up for 3. Sinks the shot, and the Raptors are back in it.
Definitely don't want to get him going. He's someone who really thrives off of confidence and playing well, so we want to keep him contained.
There's a turnover for Wizards D.G. A great opportunity for the Raptors to get back into this game. Fanta, the off-balance 3, no good. Type able to hold on to the ball. Dayfry is called for the reach.
And that's something we saw a lot last night too, just untimely offensive rebounds coming in from the opponent. So hopefully, sometimes it's just unlucky. The ball just bounces wide and you have no chance of getting it. But I'm sure that's also a focus of this game for us.
Fanta finds Type in the corner, pulls up for the 3. The Raptors have the 1-point lead, their first lead here of Game 1. Cap, pressure from Big Saint, finds Dayfry for the easy 2 points. Great vision from Cap locating the big dog down low.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing Cap brings is he's probably calling out like little things like a back cut that he sees. He is a traditional pure point guard, so he might see things that a Dayfry or Nudini might not see bringing the ball up the floor just because, they don't really play point guard all that often.
Dayfry putting some pressure there in the backcourt for the Raptors. Almost caused that turnover on the inbound, but the Raptors with under 10 on the shot clock now. Looking to get that lead back. Fanta driving the lane. With a player down, this is a great advantage for Wizards D.G if they can make something happen here. But Fanta able to recover and will commit the foul.
Yeah, and Fanta's made a few shots, a few dunks. He's probably close to takeover, I imagine. So if he makes another 3, he might get a sharpshooting badge, which makes it really tough on us to get stopped. So hopefully we can contain him moving forward.
Cap wide open for 3, sinks the shot. 2-point lead for Wizards D.G.
Cap's playing really well right now. Cap's not known as like the most aggressive scorer in the league, but he's coming out firing right now, and that's exactly what we need. Because if he can make 3s off the dribble, it's just going to open up the floor because he's already a great passer and a great ball control point guard.
Fanta with the ball for the Raptors, down by 2. Finds Big Saint, guarded by Cap in the corner. Kicks it back, under 10. Fanta with the pressure, finding Big Saint, under 3 on the shot clock. Type, the long 2, ties it up at 16.
Yeah, and the Raptors offensively, Fanta's trying to do what Sav did last night with just isoing out the lock and having the 2 other players in the corner. Dayfry's playing really good defense right now. Fanta's gotten a few shots off, but Dayfry's doing a much better job than we did against Sav last night so far.
Cap finding Dayfry down low. Wizards D.G on their what could be their final possession. 3-point shot would end it for Wizards D.G here in Game 1. Dayfry called for the reach-in.
And I think it is important for us to try to not give up a 3 right here, because if for some chance we miss a shot, We want to at least force the Raptors to make a three for the win and not just get an easy dunk.
Fanta for three. Bangs it home.
And we
Caster
see early
Curse.
he's a lot more comfortable fading to his right side. That's something I've noticed so far. So we'll see how that plays out the rest of the series.
Gap for three. Can't get the shot to go. Now opportunity. The ball goes out of bounds. A strong defense coming out from Nudini and Dayfry. The Raptors will hold on to possession. Type into Fanta. The strong defense from Dayfry once again. We've seen him do this multiple times already throughout the season. Looking for that turnover. Big Saint for three. Hits the shot. And the Raptors complete the comeback 22-18 in game one.
Yeah, and I mean, we had an early lead, and it kind of just fell apart for us at the end. You know, that shot that Cap took on our last possession, it was an open three. But for some reason, and we saw the same thing last night with D.G, sometimes when you shoot too early in the shot clock, just an off-dribble shot, the game just won't let you green for some reason. It's just one of those things that's usually in a 2K. You know, they'll never say it's like actually a thing, but you know, it's just unlucky. You know, he shot an open shot and it didn't go in. But all in all, I think we played pretty well. We just couldn't close it out with stops down the stretch of the game.
So, unfortunately, the losing skid continues here just a little bit into game one. But, I mean, I feel like in comparison to what we've seen from the last two games this week, massive improvement here through game one. They held on to the lead for most of the game. Towards the end, maybe a little sloppy with the possessions there. But nonetheless, it came down to the final possession really for both teams. And that's all you really can do in with the way 3v3 is set up with that first to 21 by 2 point win factor put in there. But so far, what you're seeing from Cap, though, Chris, you have to be pretty happy with that lineup change.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I think, like I mentioned during the game, I think if Cap's aggressive offensively with his looking for his shot and scoring, it's just going to open up the floor so much. You know, he's not known as a traditional score type player, but in 3v3, that's what you need to be. And I think he's adjusting his game perfectly to the 3v3 setting. And I'm excited to see what he does. I mean, that was his first game, and he was screening shots, leaning left and leaning right. So he has to be confident. Yeah, we lost. We're only down 0-1, but it is a best of 5 for a reason. I expect him to keep getting better and better as the series progresses.
Absolutely. And looks like they are loading up fairly quick this time. So fingers crossed here. I guess that is still one of the perks from starting first is you don't have to wait for the other games to kind of weave those in and out of the broadcast there. Looking at the lineups, it looks like all the teams are going to stay with the same roster heading into game number 2. And that is exactly where we are going. Game number 2 underway. So Raptors start with the ball here with the 1-0 series lead. Fanta finds Type. So Raptors look to open up the scoring. Back over to Fanta. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Fanta looking for space. A long two. Fanta can't get it to go. It's a big rebound for Type. Second chance opportunity for the Raptors. In the corner, guarded by Dayfry, finds Type in the lane. Kicks it back out. Under 5 again. Fanta, being patient, calls his own number, makes it 2-0. First points of the game to the Raptors.
Fanta's playing really well right now, too. He's under control. He's making the right reads and the right shots. He's not trying to force anything. So you can just tell he's in his groove, which makes it a lot tougher on us defensively.
And Cap taking what the defense gives him, ties it up at 2 apiece. Big Saint wide open for the 3. Splashes it home, 5-2.
Yeah, and those are the shots that you kind of have to avoid in 3v3. It's already hard enough to get stops, but when you let someone score off a made shot within the first 3 or 4 seconds with the shot clock, that has to, you know, befuddle Coach Pat, to say the least.
Pass down to Dayfry for the easy 2 points. It's a 1-point game. Raptors in with the lead. Fanta looking for space, kicks it over, finds Big Saint guarded by Cap. Looks to split the defenders, and Nudini coming up big and swats that one downtown. Raptors will hold on to possession, but what a big step-up play from Nudini.
Yeah, that's a highlight reel play by Nudini. That's a great shot block. That's a terrible take by Big Saint, but a great read by Dini to see that he was going up with the shot.
Fanta looking for space, 2 on the shot clock. Dayfry trying to give him everything to handle. Side rim, no good. Big Saint with the offensive board. Fanta's going to try again and hits the 3 on his second attempt.
Dayfry's playing such good initial defense for the first 23, 22 seconds, and then again they get an offensive rebound. That's been the story of the last series and again in this series as well.
Dayfry slamming it down, makes it a 2-point game. Fanta handling ball. Cap will be called for the reach. D.G checks the ball up top to type. Back underway with about 10 seconds here on the shot clock for Fanta and the Raptors. Contested 3. D.G with the rebound, finding Dayfry.
Dayfry is doing all he can do in an ISO. Like, Fanta's one of the best ISO point guards. He's one of the biggest dribble heads in 2K. So for Dayfry to be able to stay in front of him for all this time, I think that's 3 times in a row where the shot clock's gone down under 2 seconds. Great individual defense by Dayfry.
Cap off balance 3, can't get it to go. Udini coming in and help Dayfry out. Cap, under 10 on the shot clock. Finds Dayfry in the lane. Looked like he was almost surprised there. Both defenders ran away from him in the lane. Converts a 2-point shot. We're all tied at 8.
Yeah, we'll take it. Not complaining.
And Type in the corner all alone. Can't let that happen. 3-point lead now for the Raptors.
And that's 6 out of their 11 points have been within 3 seconds off of a made shot and an inbound. That's unacceptable.
Dini all alone, the long 2.
And that's just unlucky not being able to get behind the 3-point line.
Now Fanta guarded closely by Dayfry. And a big turnover. The big dog once again lays it up and in, and Wizards D.G have the 1-point lead.
That's what we've been waiting to see out of Dayfry. A plug steal leading to an easy transition dunk. When our offense is struggling a little bit, that gets us right where we need to be.
Fanta responds with a 3. 2-point lead now for the Raptors. Again, first to 21 by 2 points, secures the win. Cap, being patient, will bring the ball back out. Find space around Type. Up to the basket and in, all tied at 14.
It's a good take by Cap, not forcing a 3. Just keep the game even at 14. Trust your defense to get 1 stop, and you're back in the driver's seat for a win.
Dayfry called for the foul.
You get 5 for a reason, use them up.
Absolutely. Fanta guarded closely. Under 10 on the shot clock. Dayfry sticking to him. Applying the pressure. Down low, Big Saint for the jam. 2-point lead swings back in favor of the Raptors.
That's tough on Cap defensively. He basically has no defense in his building. He's 6'1", guarding a cutting 6'6" player.
Cap looking for space. Dayfry trying to help out. Off bounds 3. Splashes it home.
It's a great shot by Cap. Cap's really impressing me with his ability to create threes leaning to both sides, left and right.
Fanta over to Big Saint for a 3 of his own. Can't get it. Offensive board by Type. Udini's called for the foul.
In my opinion, Type is one of the best offensive rebounders we have in the league. He's been, since season 1, season 2. So, it is a tall task for Dini to box him out.
(18-17) Raptors with the 1-point lead. Cap for 3. Can't hit it. Nudini with the rebound. They'll reset, but first Type is called for the foul.
Yeah, Cap just shot a straight late there, not even slightly late. So that was either a missed time shot or the game might have had like a lag spike or something.
Lag spike playing Toronto? Never. That wouldn't happen. Cap around the defender all the way to the rim. 19-18.
Yeah, a 3 can win it for Toronto right here. So we have to play no threes defense, give up the slip, and just hope that we can keep scoring on the offensive end.
Fanta brings the ball up. Dayfry Looking for another turnover. Passes
Ooh.
over. Big Saint for three. Wide open.
Oh,
Can't
shot
hit
late.
the shot. A big break for Wiz
Wow.
DG.
That's unbelievable. Saint just shot. There might be a connection issue going on because that was miscommunication from us, and he just shot it late, wide open.
Cap kicks it back out. Dayfry. Under 10 on the shot clock. Basket will win it. Cap, the long two, calls game. Evens the series up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, we'll take that. I don't think we really deserve to win that game based off of that last defensive possession, but we'll take it any way we can get it. It's 1-1. Now the series is a best of 3, so look for us to make even more adjustments here. We have to clean things up defensively for sure, but happy to escape with the win right there.
11 points for Cap, 8 for Dayfry. And that last game, Fanta dropping 10 of his own. Continuing to be the big score there for Toronto.
And it's not usual you see a team with 3 less 3 points made in a game win a 3v3 game up to 21. And that's what we just did. So the stats might not be in our favor there, but the only stat that matters is the W, which we did get.
Yeah, and that was a much needed win. That kills the losing streak there for a little bit. They haven't won a game since it was game 3 against Atlanta all the way back on Tuesday. So that ends the losing streak there. That obviously, from a mental standpoint for gamers, that's what you want to do. You need to bounce back. You need to get that first win. Hopefully that's the beginning of that swing. Again, we saw how great they played in game 1, even though it ended up being a loss. Then we saw it really come to fruition there in game 2, pulling out the win for Wiz DG to even up the series at 1 apiece. Now we head into game 3. It's a whole new series. It's really a best of 3 now. It's who can win the next 2 games, and the momentum now in favor of Wiz DG going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And, just this, to touch on the defensive end once again, I think for some reason, the lineup with Dayfry and B-Rich and Nudini seems to have the best chemistry. All the lineups we've thrown out since, there's something off about our communication. So hopefully we can get that addressed here. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for us to pull this one out.
Wiz DG starts with the ball here in game 3. Looking to take the series lead. Cap looking to open up the scoring and opens it up big with a 3.
Cap's being really aggressive. I'll keep saying it. And that's probably what Coach Pat told him before the series even started. He wants him to be aggressive, whether he makes or misses, keep shooting the ball.
Ruthless aggression from Cap. I love it. And a big turnover now for Wiz DG, looking to build on their early lead. Cap kicks it back over to Nudini. Big Saint called for the reach. We're starting to get a little sloppy there, a little panicky down towards the baseline, but Wiz DG will hold on to it with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dayfry down low, can't get it to go. The defensive board by Type.
That's just Dayfry being on a lock build with not much finishing ability because, he was on a smaller defender right there. Normally he would make that.
Dini almost got there in time. The Raptors on the board here in game 3.
Something interesting we see too is Dayfry brings the ball up a lot as a lockdown. I don't think you'll see any other team in the league have their lockdown bring up the ball in a 3v3 game, but that's just how much trust everyone has in Dayfry.
Dayfry down low, being patient, finds Dini in the corner. Back up to Cap. Finds space, takes the 3, can't get it to go. The long rebound falls to Big Saint. Loose ball picked up. Dayfry going the other way. Slams it home, 5-2 for Wiz DG.
There it is again. Dayfry in perfect position. He had a passing lane steal, I believe. Yep, earlier in the game, unless that was someone else. But, back-to-back games regardless. Dayfry with a pluck steal on Fanta, which, brings down his takeover and brings up, Dayfry's takeover and the rest of the team. So really good job by him.
Fanta kicking the ball over. Nudini almost intercepted the ball. Kicks it back up to Fanta. Looking for space. Dayfry trying to lock him down under 4 in the shot clock. Finds a way around him. Takes it to the rim. 1-point game.
Yeah, and that's what's hard about ISO and 3v3. It's pick your poison. Dini or another corner could help and try to block that shot, but then Fanta could guess past that corner and give up a 3, which is not what we want.
A turnover in the backcourt. Chance here for the Raptors to take the lead. Driving the baseline, Type. Cap called for the reach in.
That was a good foul because Fanto was about to get a wide open three off our rotation right there.
Type hands it off to Fanta to restart the game, under 10. Again, guarded closely by Dayfry. Off balance three. It's no good. Dini with the board. And Type called for the foul.
That was actually really good IQ by Dayfry because I think what Fanta was trying to do there is last time he drove with, under 5 seconds. That time he tried to shoot a three to trick Dayfry, but Dayfry didn't go for it and stayed up three.
And quick passing Cap finding Dayfry down low, 7-4 for the defending champs. Fanta looking for more. Trying to help his team get started here in game 3. Scoring's been a little bit slower here this game as Big Saint drives the lane. Makes it 7-6.
Yeah, the amount of possessions we bring the Raptors down under 5 or 4 seconds on the shot clock is really remarkable. It's just proving, great individual defense by Dayfry once again.
Dayfry with the offensive board, finding Cap, kicks it over. Dini in the corner for three.
Oh.
Front rim.
That was a slow catch animation. I think Dini expected to be able to shoot that before the defender got there, and the game didn't let him.
Dayfry with the block, finding Dini all the way up to Cap. It's a full team effort, makes it 9-6.
Yeah, just having Dave, for some reason in 3v3, Dayfry just turns into the best on-ball defender. We all know that Awkward is one of the best on-ball defenders, and he's going to be in the All-Star game for being one. But in 3v3, man, Dayfry, whether he's on a point guard build or a small forward build, he just shows he's one of the most versatile players in the league.
Fanta forces the three, ties it up at 9 apiece.
And that was a 20%, so that's just a good shot by Fanta and good defense by Dayfry.
Cap being patient with the ball. Brings over wide open, the long two. Makes it 11-9.
And Cap's playing, he's playing more aggressive than I thought, but he's also playing exactly how I thought with, being under control. He's not turning the ball over. He's not playing too fast. He's playing at his pace, which is exactly what we want him to do.
Fanta driving the lane, ties it back up at 11. Dayfry. Great vision from Cap once again. 2-point lead now for the defending champs.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a great matchup to exploit. A 6'1" point guard, like I mentioned earlier, on a 6'6" player, you can get those easy cuts, and without help, the point guard really can't do much on the defensive end.
Saint in the corner, drives baseline. All tied at
And they
13.
just did it right back. Yep.
It's a copycat league is what I'm seeing here.
Exactly.
Now Cap for three, no good. Dini with the rebound. Kicks it back out, Dayfry. Guard close in the corner, finds Cap. In the corner, pulls up for three. Cap sinks it. 16-13 for Wizards D.G.
That's something interesting I'm seeing for Cap. I think he's greening a lot more shots, or mostly all of his shots off the dribble, leaning, compared to just shooting a standstill shot. So maybe he just has that timing down a bit better in 3v3.
Fanta responds with a three of his own, all tied at 16 apiece. Dini back out to Cap. Impatient finds Nudini now. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dayfry finding Nudini. 2-point lead now for Wizards D.G. 18-16.
Yeah, that's really good movement without the ball. As the shot clock goes down, that's exactly what you need. People to move off ball and to be on the same page with the person who has the ball in their hands.
Fanta will tie it back up at 18 apiece. Now a 3-point shot for either team right now will win it for them. Wizards D.G. will be the first team with that opportunity. If they can sink it here, they can take the 2-1 series lead. Cap finds space, gets his defender to jump down low. Dayfry kicks it out. Nudini in the corner. Dayfry, strong ball movement, finds Cap back towards the top. Dayfry in the corner for three. Dayfry wins it for Wizards D.G in game 3 and takes the 2-1 lead for Wizards D.G.
Yeah, and that was a really good last possession. You saw the Raptors rotating. They were actually playing really good rotational defense for the majority of the possession. But, you know, if you keep moving the ball around, it's going to be one rotation too many. And that's what you saw there. Dayfry got wide open in the corner. And I don't think I've ever really seen him miss a wide open shot from the corner on a shooting build. So great last possession there. You know, Cap, again, you know, great game, 10 points. You know, Fanta had 14 for them, but Cap's playing extremely, extremely well, and exactly what Coach Pat would have liked to see with him inserted into the lineup tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we're just seeing this team continue to grow and grow. And we talked to head coach Pat Crossan last night in the postgame show as well. You know, obviously they're holding on to that 2-point lead in the standings. So this really is the time to try to figure things out, play with different builds, play with different roster moves. You know, he hinted at it last night, and obviously you predicted Cap coming in today. And like you said, Cap is playing very, very well here in the 3v3 here today going forward. If he continues this solid performance here in this series, is Cap possibly a mainstay in this lineup going forward for the threes?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think a main reason why these lineups are even being tried is you maybe see a little bit of shift in the meta of the 3v3, where, you know, in the beginning you saw a lot of traditional lineups with one point guard, one lock, and one center. And then it kind of went to the double ball handler meta, which we used, you know, up till now. And now it might be shifting back a little bit. You still see some teams running the double ball handler like the Warriors, but I think teams are a little bit more comfortable with this, just having a lockdown out there to guard the other team's best player. So I think we're just trying to get ourselves to the best point where if we need to bring out this lineup, or if we want to bring out this lineup, if it is the new meta of the league, then we have, you know, the best go-to lineup for this type of game. And I think, you know, the lineup we're having tonight, I think it's a big step in the right direction to maybe solidifying that moving forward.
Absolutely. It looks like they are loading back in here. We're keeping the same lineups. I can't really think of any time where there's been a roster change mid series here in 3v3 at least. I just getting this not off the top of my head at the moment. But yeah, sticking with what's working here for Wizards D.G heading into game 4. They have to be very happy with where they're currently at. Everything seems to be clicking. That move for Cap coming in obviously is working going forward, and now Wizards D.G have the chance to seal the series here with a win in game 4.
Absolutely. And Fanta is playing extremely well. He had 14 points that last game. I think the big difference is the turnovers we're creating. Like, Dayfry is getting passing lane steals and on-ball pluck steals. You know, hopefully we're able to continue to get them, because otherwise Fanta is playing extremely well, as you see a 3 right there off the dribble.
Fanta opening up the scoring. That's not nice. Kind of giving us a taste of our own medicine there from game 3.
Exactly.
And Dayfry with the fancy spin move to put a little style points onto that one. Opens up.
I don't think he needed to do that, but it's good for the highlight reel for Twitter, right?
It looks good, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And Dayfry commits the foul. Standard foul, no spin on that one. Now Fanta finds space, takes a 3. Now Dayfry. Mid-range jumper is good. 4-3 for Wizards D.G. Again, a big thank you to everyone joining us here on Twitch for tuning in to the official co-stream. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show as well. So Raptors now take the 1-point lead. Wizards D.G able to close out this series. We'll hear from a player and from head coach Pat Crossan. We won't even give you the other option because we don't want the other option. Again, we've already had the other option twice this week. I think it's
ready to move on.
Absolutely. Yep. It's nicer to talk to Pat after a win than it is a loss. As Dini hits the big 3, 7-5 for Wizards D.G. Fanta finding space, ties it up at 7.
Fanta's really in his groove right now, but he's getting 2s over 3s, which is fine by us. We're getting 3s off, and we're controlling the pace. So we have to be really happy with where we're at this point in the game.
Dayfry loses control of the ball. Now the Raptors with a chance to take the lead. Pass over, Type wide open. Can't hit the three. Got to hit those.
I think that's the same spot where Saint missed his on the other side of the court, so maybe that's just a bad luck spot for the Raptors.
Let's leave that spot wide open for him. Let's find out. 9-7, Wizards D.G holding on to the lead. It's Fanta for the Raptors. Pulls up for the three. Bangs it home. 1 point lead now for the Raptors.
Fanta is definitely on pace to get his takeover this game, something that we haven't really seen so far, and something that Sav got a lot last night. So hopefully, we keep scoring so that doesn't really play too much of a factor down the stretch.
Dayfry in the lane, the two-handed jam. More back and forth on the scoreboard here. Now it's 11-10. Big Saint turns the ball over to Cap. Now Dayfry gets double teamed. Then Fanta called for the reach, bailing Dayfry out.
I mean, that steal was all on Dayfry, too. Dayfry got the initial bump on Fanta off the inbound, and Fanta couldn't really advance the ball, so he was forced to throw it up.
And a big three there from Dayfry. 14-10.
Yeah, and we're hitting our whites, and they're not, so 2K gods are favoring us this game, which I love.
Fanta getting pressure from all sides. Cap called for the reach. Fanta really struggling to get across that half-court line.
Yeah, and again, a great individual defense by Dayfry. That's all it really is. It's 3v3. It's just one-on-one, and Dayfry's winning that right now.
Off-balance three, no good. Offensive board by Type as Dini's called for the reach. Fanta looking for space, guarded closely by Dayfry, gets around him, drives the lane, but Nudini is there, almost gets the block.
Oh.
So close.
I don't know how he made that. That shot usually does not go in. It's an awkward animation that 2K usually doesn't let you hit.
Dayfry finds Cap. Down low, Dayfry, that was a pinpoint pass. Off the board and in, 16-12.
Dayfry has really scored. I think Dayfry has probably scored more than most locks do in a 3v3 series, and that just shows his aggression. I mean, he has somewhat of an advantage, but based off his height, so he's taking full advantage of it.
Now Big Saint for three. It's no good. Offensive board by Type. Fanta's going to try. Can't get to go, and Type again cleaning the glass for the Raptors. Try number three for Fanta. Still can't get it to go. Now Wizards D.G. Dayfry the other direction after the big rebound and pass from Nudini. Turns the ball over. Now the Raptors have a chance to get back in this game.
It's unbelievable how many wide open shots the Raptors are missing. I don't know what's going on with them.
A Big Saint for three, splashes it home, and it's a 1 point game.
Big Saint shot a late in the second game, I believe, and then an early in this game, and he finally gets a green. Very happy about that.
Cap fouled by Big Saint. They'll reset. 14 on the shot clock.
This is a big possession for us because it looks like the Raptors have a little bit of momentum with all those offensive rebounds, so it's important for us to score here.
Dayfry with a chance, finding space, drives the lane, kicks it back out, finding Cap. Off balance three. Cap with ice in his veins, 19-15 game point for Wizards D.G.
There was like 1.6 seconds on the shot clock when he caught that ball, so for him to get out off an actual regular shot and to green it, it's really amazing.
It's a 2-1 series lead for Wizards D.G. Raptors desperately needing a basket here, and Dayfry playing a little bit more aggressive, looking to force that turnover to end the game.
Yeah, and we have a few possession lead right now, so we can play around a little bit, try to get like a blitz steal. It might not hurt us too much. Try to end the game right here.
19-17, still game point here for Wizards D.G. A 2-point shot will do it. Udini looking for that high percentage shot, hands the ball off to Cap. The Raptors have to lock up. They can't allow a single basket. Cap looking for space, drives the baseline to end it. Cap calls game and series as Wizards D.G. break the losing streak and take the 3-1 series win over Raptors GC.
Yeah, and again, that's great. Under control, an under control possession by us. Nudini could have shot that first three, but he wasn't facing the basket initially, so he would have gotten a longer shot than normal, which isn't the easiest shot to green by far. So for him to just hold on to that, recognize we have a full shot clock, set up the offense, when in reality, all we need is a dunk to win it, which is exactly what we saw. It's extremely hard for the defense to get a stop in that situation. And all in all, a great game. Yes, the Raptors did miss a lot of wide open shots, but we did exactly what we needed to do, and we pulled it out. After losing the first game, went on and to win 3 in a row, which is awesome.
Absolutely, and we have just been told Cap will be joining us here on the post-game show. So as soon as the team is done here with their post-game wrap-up, Cap will be hopping on for that post-game show interview with us here. We're going to toss to a very quick break. Actually, we're not even going to do that. We're not going to do that because Cap is here. He's ready to go. So as soon as he gets his headset on here, we will go ahead and get him in here. Off mute and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let me find the right button. There we go. Bringing Cap on just like that. It's magic. You're talking, you're producing everything. It happens. Cap, first off, congrats. It's a 3-1 series win. You guys break the losing streak here in week 1. How good does it feel to be able to bounce back after 2 tough losses against Atlanta and Miami?
I feel like it's huge. I think, the biggest thing with us is we're trying to figure out what we're going to do, going into playoffs. Obviously, we already clinched our spot. Obviously, we're trying to, play for a bye now. But, just, it was important that, it was a good morale booster that I think we needed. So I think we're, headed towards the right direction. And, hopefully we could keep winning and, hopefully we could compete for a 3v3 and 5v5 championship.
Hey Cap, congrats again. Good to see you. What have you learned, like watching Dave Fry and Dini and even B Rich play guard on the 3v3 build? Like, what have you learned watching them, and what advice have they told you to kind of get into your groove here in your first action?
So the biggest thing that I would say is, Dave Fry's big on like commanding and kind of like owning that it's your offense. Brandon's really good on catch and shoots and like dexing. And Dini really is good with like communication in terms of his comms. So I try to take, obviously I don't really have much 3v3 experience. So, when I was sitting, being Coach K, I tried to take in all those little things and like put them to use and, work today. It worked out for us.
Now, for the past 2 series, obviously you weren't in the starting lineup there, but you were sitting next to head coach Pat Crossan, and we saw several times throughout those series that Pat would kind of lean over and talk with you. Can you give us a little insight into what that conversation was like leading up to this series where you did get in the starting lineup? What was his message to you going into the game tonight?
Yeah, so obviously we've been struggling a little bit. So Pat, was pretty much telling me stay loose, stay sharp. Like, he treats me like I'm the closer, like the bullpen guy. He's like, just in case we need you, always stay hot. And today obviously I got my shot. We won, and hopefully, we could ride the momentum out and see what happens.
Yeah, and how much of an advantage is having someone like Dave Fry out there? Obviously, not only for his vocal leadership and being a veteran and a 2-time champion, but we see him doing things in the offensive end that not a lot of locks do. He's bringing the ball up, he's making back cuts, he's scoring in transition. Like, how much does that help you as a first-time 3v3 point guard kind of just ease into the offense?
I mean, it's definitely comfortable, and it's obviously playing with Ryan. Dave Fry isn't the easiest thing, because he's so passionate about what he does. So sometimes it could be a little intimidating, but it definitely takes a lot of pressure off me knowing that, like, I don't have to score the ball every play, or that I don't have to bring it up. He's like the older brother I never had, so he really watches out for me, and like he makes it makes the game easy for me.
Absolutely. So now you got a little bit of time off now. You have the entire weekend to kind of rest, relax, and prepare for your next matchup going up against Cavs Legion on Tuesday. How do you stay sharp during that prolonged period off where here in the first week you had 3 games in 4 days, and you include travel and they're going down to Atlanta and back. How do you stay locked in going into that matchup next week?
I mean, the biggest thing is, just practicing. The biggest thing for me is I'm a better visual learner. So, I always said, for me to learn threes, I have to sit down and actually learn it. So, me and the whole team and the guys will really just sit there and just, watch a lot of film and really understand, what certain people's tendencies are. Because threes, the game's so fast, so there's only so much room for error. And we're just going to focus on those things, pick up on tendencies, force other guys to beat us and, besides their star and live with the result.
Yeah, and Cap, obviously, you started the year off in Orlando, getting drafted by the Magic. Like, how much of a transition was it to come over and get traded mid-season? Like, is there anything, that you miss about Orlando, or anything that you take away from that experience that you're still using to this day in Washington?
So I would say my biggest thing in Orlando was, I was kind of forced to be the guy, be the leader. And, now I walk into a Wizards team where, they're back-to-back champions and they kind of have their system figured out. They have their group of guys, they have their leaders. So, now they want me to come in and, the biggest thing I struggled with was I try to be a listener too much. I'm looking at these guys like, obviously they know how to do it. So I would listen a lot. And now it's starting to kick back in where, I get to be that leadership caliber player again that I carried over from Orlando. And, it's working out for us. I'm playing a lot better. I feel like the team's playing a lot better, and it's all good stuff.
You can go ahead and say the weather in Florida is better than it is here in DC. It's completely acceptable. I think we all know that also. It's been absolutely brutal here in the nation's capital, weather-wise, the past couple of days. But Cap, again, congratulations on the 3-1 win, breaking that losing streak and heading into next week's game against Cavs Legion. Best of luck, and thanks again, as always, for hopping on.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having
Cap.
me.
Congrats.
All right, so that was Cap. I mean, he had an outstanding series. He got plugged in here into that 3v3 lineup, coming in for just awkward and really brought a spark to this lineup, a much-needed spark to get this team back on their winning ways and hopefully secure that #1 overall seed here for the threes tourney.
Yeah, for sure. And it's giving Coach Pat something to really think about, coming off this. I mean, obviously it's only one series, and the other lineup has, great experience going all the way in a 3v3 tournament. But that you can never have too much of a good thing. So, to have two completely different lineup options now under his belt, to, really put out there depending on the opponent, depending on the situation. I think that gives him a lot of versatility and a lot of options to kind of just, mix and match and put the best lineup out there that we can.
Absolutely. So we are still waiting for head coach Pat Croston again, finishing up that team meeting here with the rest of the guys. Again, next matchup coming Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time against Cavs Legion GC. And that will be right here on the official channel for Wizards D.G here on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Wizards D.G if you weren't familiar. I mean, you're already watching the co-stream, so you should be aware of where you are. But again, while we're waiting there as well, again, a friendly reminder to vote for NBA 2K League All-Star, the second annual All-Star game here, and vote only for WizDG. We will not tolerate votes for anybody else other than WizDG. There's no penalty for it. We're not going to hold you hostage or anything like that. If you want to vote for other people in the Western Conference, that's fine. But Eastern Conference, WizDG players only. Dave Fry leading the entire league in votes so far with over 500 votes. And then Just Awkward right behind them with just over 300. Nudini has over 130 votes as well. We need to get everyone in for WizDG, so go to NBA2KLeague.com, check out the All-Star page, and vote early, vote often, and vote frequently and every single day. However many times I can kind of explain to you to definitely vote for WizDG for the All-Star game. All right, and ooh, look at this, a baby-faced head coach Pat Crossan joining us. What a transition. My goodness. So I have to ask then. You threw my entire line of question off. Did you shave to break the streak here this week?
Yeah, we were we lost twice this week, so something had to change. And I don't want to say it was just all because of me, but I did shave my face today, had to take one for the team and worked out. So we'll just go with that.
Does it feel like your face is a little bit colder without the beard now, or is
Yeah,
the
it's
weather
like,
outside keeping it warm?
no, well, honestly, I was like sweating and I could like feel the sweat on my face. But yeah, no, I looked at myself, I was like, I'm pretty pale, so now I have to get some sunlight. So on the off day tomorrow I'm gonna be at the pool tanning, so I might see you there, right?
Maybe. Who knows? But Coach, congrats, 3-1 victory. Obviously, it's been a tough week going 0-2 prior to this. Walk us through the decision to insert Cap into the lineup. And then after that, kind of give us your overall grade of Cap and his play today.
Yeah, no, I think with the lineup change, it was wanted to give Cap a shot. We ran some scrimmages, looked pretty well today. We were doing a good job. We were playing a couple teams, and he was hooping. So for us, it was kind of like easy to get him in there. And then also it was just I like this lineup from an archetype standpoint. I just was trying to like plug and place players to see who could kind of maneuver around that. I know we had Justin at lock, we had Dini at point guard, Ryan at point guard, but I really do like this lineup, so I think it might be here to stay for next week, but we'll have to see. And Cap, I think he played very well tonight. Was out there, he was calling stuff out, he was playing good defense, and it is tough because he really only had today to practice. So he kind of got thrown into the fire there, and in those situations, you want to see guys step up, and he clearly did that. Got the win for us.
Hey, Pat, good to see you again. Congrats on the win after the tough week. Love your face. I don't think I'll see it too much. I think you'll probably grow the beard out for the long run. But
Yeah, when's the
sorry.
last time you saw me with a no beard?
Probably in like 12th grade homeroom, maybe. I don't know. A while back.
It's been a while.
But anyway, kind of just talk me through like the Cap that you see now versus the Cap that you saw when he first arrived in DC. Like, how much more comfortable is he, confident, and just aggressive on the offensive end? Because tonight we saw him taking great shots, leaning left, leaning right, just looking like a scorer out there. So kind of walk me through that process.
Yeah, no, my hope is that threes can translate, to the 5v5 game, because as a point guard, it's different. Obviously, in 5v5, you might pass the ball a little bit more. But in threes, like if you're the point guard and we're running a lockdown and a big, essentially, like you have to be one of the main scorers, if not the main scorer. You got to score the majority of the points. So it kind of forces him to have to be that scorer where I would say he's definitely a better passer right now, but we want to build that scoring going into the playoffs because we're going to need him in big moments. And I think he's done a tremendous job tonight, obviously. And, from when the time we got him from now, I think he's kind of transitioning into that more of a scorer's mindset that we need in those big situations. So, hopefully 3v3 he can learn a couple of things and, bring that to the playoffs. And then obviously we'll go from there.
And defense is a big point that you hammer home with this team as well. Looking at tonight's game, every single game, all four of them, there were multiple possessions where you guys were able to force Toronto to under 5 seconds on their shot clock, which for threes is pretty impressive, especially with how open the court is and everything. How does a team like Wizards D.G be able to lock down a high-scoring team like the Raptors and a player like Fanta to hold them to under 5 seconds, multiple possessions a game to force those low percentage shots? How do you do that?
Yeah, no, I think it was one of those things. Fanta is very familiar with Justin, Just Awkward, as a lockdown because they play together, they're friends and all that. So, we kind of switched it up tonight. Maybe he thought Justin was going to play. We put Ryan at lock. So it's kind of a different, perspective for him. So maybe a little trickery, but, Ryan's got great defense anyway. He can play almost 1 through 5 at this point, and he's showing at a high level he can do that. And, for him to come in, play lock, and really force Fanta to have to like use the shot clock and really score with a couple seconds left, or even get stops with the full shot clock, I think is a big improvement for him. And honestly, at this point, if like you don't vote for this guy for MVP, I don't know what to say, because he's playing every position for us in threes, fives, whatever it is. I mean, he's my MVP, and I don't understand people who aren't going to vote for him. So maybe we need to start giving him other votes.
Yeah, and just talking more about Dayfry, who should be MVP. I asked Cap a similar question, but like, how much does it help you guys that Dayfry is able to go on a lock and bring the ball up the floor to kind of take some pressure off of Cap and just abuse his mismatch with backdoor cuts and stuff at the end of shot clock? Like, how much easier does that make the game on Cap, who's quite new to the scene, and how much does that just help the overall offense? Just generate more points and just getting the ball up easier.
Yeah, it's definitely a new perspective for the offense, because like what Locke is doing, what Ryan does. Because when he's on Locke, it kind of looks like another guard, and his attributes from the ball handling and kind of the badges that he doesn't have anymore going to a lock, like he shouldn't be doing these things. Not I don't see other locks doing them. So when he gets on that build and he's able to do that, it's just like, I don't know, he just has that stick skill to be able to, it doesn't matter what he plays, he can make an impact. And then we kind of use him too as like an off-ball sharp with that lockdown build, and he's still able to green his shots and get assists and those cuts, like you said, like he can do it all. So It definitely makes Cap's life a little bit easier that when he's getting boxed, he knows he can, send Ryan on the cut here or, make a play for Ryan and he's going to get the ball and, he's going to score it.
So looking forward to next week, Tuesday, the 26th against Cavs Legion Gaming, GC, pardon me. 9 p.m. tip-off time for there. So you get a little bit of time off there, a little time to rest and relax and kind of recoup from a very busy week. We're talking to Cap about this as well. 3 games in 4 days, plus travel down to Atlanta and travel back to D.C., how do you keep the team fresh going into that Tuesday matchup? Are you going to give them that time off that they need to kind of recover a little bit here and there, or is it going to be right back to film watching and prepping for Tuesday?
Yeah, so they're going to have tomorrow off, and then we're actually going to start scrimming fives on Sunday because we want to get back in that mode. We did have a week off from that. And, we'll scrim threes too for warm-ups. But I really want to get back to fives, start scrimming that because, we only have a month left and there's a bye week coming up after next week. So we're going to have to kind of hit the nail on the head on it. And, it's really going to fly by. So I'm excited. I want to get the playoffs. I know we have a couple games left. The Cavs have been looking good with Antoine. They made a couple trades mid-season and their threes team is kind of hot right now. So we're going to see how we match up against them.
Yeah, moving forward, just, with 3v3, obviously, we saw this lineup perform really well. It's obviously only one series, so you can only take so much from it, but obviously it looked really good. And then we know that our other lineup that, we went all the way in a 3v3 tournament, that works as well. So without giving away too many trade secrets, like, do you want one lineup that you want to kind of stick with and find, or are you comfortable having the versatility of being able to throw a few different lineups out there depending on a matchup?
Yeah, no, I love versatility. I think it adds another layer, especially in 3v3s. In fives, you usually have that, you have your builds, you have your archetypes that like you're really used to. Maybe a couple of guys will change. But in threes, I really kind of see this lineup, which is traditional point guard, small forward, power forward, or the 2 shooting guard lineup with a big power forward. I think those two are really good. And if we can excel both of them, then it just makes it a little bit harder for other teams to game plan against us. I don't know what we're going to run in playoffs yet, but we got a month to figure that out.
All right, head coach Pat Crossan of Wizards District Gaming, the 3-1 victory today over the Raptors. Congrats, Pat. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you next week on Tuesday.
Congrats,
thanks, guys.
Pat.
And I'm
Say
gonna
hi
need
to the
some
family
new.
for me.
I'll say hi to the family for you. I'm gonna need some new lighting because I'm just really pale right now because I haven't seen my face before. So we're gonna have to change that. All right.
Well, you spend that time outside by the pool, and maybe we can get a little.
Well, next week I'll have the
tan on.
nice tan on for you guys.
All right. Well, we'll expect that.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Pat. Solid 3-1 victory again for Wizards District Gaming. Head coach Pat Crossan, a big thank you once again for him and Cap for joining us here on the post-game show. Great insight into a player's perspective as well. You mentioned it, not only was he traded here mid-season, still working his way into this team. We heard from him, he's not a big threes player either. But he spent all that time with head coach Pat Crossan in the other series, kind of talking with him, getting ready, paying attention, and just seeing where he fits in this lineup going forward. And he came up big tonight against the Raptors.
Yeah, and we see with that interview with Cap especially, and this is one of the big reasons why he was a high prospect coming into the season 5, is that, his humility, is just off the charts. Like, he recognizes, the parts of his game that he might not be completely comfortable with just yet, whether it's a 3v3 point guard or being like the main featured player on an offense. But coming here, having all these veterans in Dave Fry, Nardini, B Rich, and Just Awkward, basically our entire team, our seasoned veterans in this league, you see him blossoming and growing into this point guard that is really going to help us in both 3v3 and 5v5. So, great overall performance by him tonight, and I look for him to continue to build on this. And heading into next week, I probably expect to see the same lineup against the Cavs on Tuesday night, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and it'll be a great test for Cap as well, as his experience playing 3v3 looks like it possibly is going to continue into next week for week 2 of the 3v3 seed week as well. Well, that is going to do it here for tonight's stream. Again, a big thank you to everyone for tuning in here on the official co-stream of the back-to-back NBA 2K Leagues Wizards D.G. It was a lot of fun tonight. 3-1 series win, breaks a 2-game losing streak. They go 1-2 on the week, but they head into the weekend with that win and into next week's matchup again. That is on Tuesday the 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the official Twitch channel of Wizards District Gaming. We'll be right back here with you once again. Thank you again for tuning in. On behalf of Chris, I am John. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you then.